I'm Papa B. Another blockbuster from the Bee's Nest. DHE, Girl Who Sang Against the Night. Sit back, get some popcorn, a pack of tissues, and enjoy episode 1, as I'm sure you would.
In the bustling, sun-soaked town of Kufa, where the roofs blazed like hammered copper in the noonday heat, lived a girl with a voice so radiant that people swore dawn broke whenever she sang. Her name was Ayetide. At just 10, she was already a prodigy. While other children her age recited multiplication tables with timid voices, Ayetide could fill a whole market square with a single note, clear as river water, bold as sunrise, soft as harmattan dust. Her voice wrapped itself around the heart of anyone who heard it. Old women cried, fishermen paused mid-paddle, even the stubborn goats behind the town square stood still. Everyone knew she was destined for greatness, except her mother. Aisha, Ayetide's mother, was once a backup singer in a Lagos studio band. She dreamed of fame, of microphones and magazine covers, but luck slipped through her fingers like sand. Her voice never rose above the chorus line, and bitterness bloomed in her like mold on forgotten bread. Years later, she joined a secret society known only in fearful whispers as the Silent Birds, a coven of night world witches who flew after midnight, not with wings, but with shadows and wind, slipping along rooftops to perform ancient rituals. The coven had one rule: every member must pledge the future success of one of their children, feeding the society with the destiny of their brightest seed. Aisha smiled when she made her pledge. She had already chosen. She would not allow Ayetide to shine where she, the mother, had failed. When Ayetide won a statewide children's singing competition at age 10, reporters came to their home. Neighbors celebrated. But that night, as the moon rose like an accusing eye, Aisha snuck into her daughter's room. She whispered incantations into the girl's throat, tying invisible knots of silence into her vocal cords. The next morning, Ayetide woke up with no voice. The town panicked. Elders prayed. The herbswoman offered remedies. Aisha acted devastated, but celebrated in secret. The silent birds clapped their shadowy hands in approval. But Ayetide had something they underestimated, a destiny that fought back. By the third day, the knots broke. Her voice returned, stronger than before, ringing through Kufa like the tolling of bronze bell. People said it carried the scent of sunrise. A week later, Ayetide was invited to Lagos for an audition with a major music label. The night before she traveled, Aisha mixed a charm in the girl's bathwater, meant to make her trip, fall, and injure her jaw. The charm worked, almost. Ayetide slipped on the corridor tiles, falling hard, but instead of her jaw, her elbow took the hit. She cried, but when she opened her mouth, her voice rose, unshaken, unbroken. It was as if an unseen force guided her, as if her future refused to bow. This time, the silent birds themselves grew restless. "Your daughter's star is fighting us," their matron hissed. "You must finish it properly." So, one moonless night, while the world slept like a closed eyelid, Aisha and the witches flew, dark shadows slicing through darker skies. They hovered above Ayetide's window, chanting a spell meant to strip the girl of her musical destiny forever. But something unusual happened. Ayetide woke up. She sat upright in her bed, though her eyes remained closed. A glow, soft, golden, and impossibly warm, rose from her chest. And then she began to sing. Not with fear, not with pain, but with a purity that split the darkness like lightning. Her voice reached the hovering witches. It tore through their chants. It scattered their shadows. It burned like morning sun on vampire skin. Aisha fell from the sky, landing in her own backyard with a scream lodged in her throat. The silent birds fled. Their power could not survive a child whose destiny was protected by the very forces that crafted her gift. When Aisha staggered into the house, Ayetide stood in the hallway, awake now, her eyes filled with tears, not of fear, but of sorrow. "Mommy," she whispered, "why don't you want me to shine?" For the first time, Aisha felt something hard crack inside her. A shame she had buried for years. Her envy, her bitterness, her witchcraft, it all piled at her feet like broken glass. She broke down and wept. Not even the silent birds returned for her after that. She had failed the pledge. She was cast out, voiceless, powerless, stripped of the dark comfort she once clung to. Years passed. Ayetude's voice rose beyond Kufa, beyond Lagos, beyond Nigeria. She became the youngest Pan-African music sensation. Her songs carried the strength of those who survive the night and the softness of those who forgive anyway. People often asked her, "How did your voice become so powerful?" She always smiled gently. "It was forged in darkness," she said, "but destined for light." And though she forgave her mother, the scar of that betrayal shaped her songs, giving them a depth that made the world stop and listen. For some destinies, no darkness is strong enough to bury them.
Isaiah 54:17 says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue which rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is from me, says the Lord."